party people. Hello, it's Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I'm here today, you guys, with project number three. Number three from Bargain Bead Box, January 2023, Midnight Sky. So, let me just show you what we're working on today. Here's our little design that we drew up. It's probably backwards for you guys. But it's kind of got a lot of components going on with it. So, we're going to be doing a bunch of different kind of things today, which is wonderful, but yeah. Going to be using the Labradorite. Here's the beads that we're going to be using, and we'll get more into those when we get down to the mat. I should premise this video by saying that we are a working studio, and that if you hear things and stuff going on, that is work happening. But yeah, I hope you're all having a lovely day. Let's get on down to the mat, get this party started. Alrighty, party people, here we are down on the mat. This is our design that we made. It's been a few days ago now. Doing my best. It's real live beading over here at Thunder House. We got things and stuff going on. But as you can see, we are going to be working with the moon component. I have all the components right here. So let's just take a look-see at those. Yeah, so we got the lab, which will be here. We've got our moon here. It's going to be quite snazzy, I think. We got some little fun bits and pieces, and then our crystals up here. So yeah, I'm excited. Let's get into it. I think I'm going to start with the pendant portion, as I normally do. Just because then I know this part is ready, and we'll just work our way up like this. According to me, I'm going to use an Old Faithful clasp. Makes sense. So let me put this over here. And get these things kind of arranged. And we will get on into it. So what it's looking like really in the design that I have here is that we don't really have much that we need to do to this component piece. So this is the component piece. It has that lab inside, which is very nice. So we don't really need to do anything to this. We're just going to start with the front focal piece. So we don't need any crystals for that. We don't need these pieces. We just need these pieces. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. And then we'll get out our materials and such. I'm just going to put that to the side for right now. So it looks like I've got 2, 4, 6 blue stars. And let's get these chippies ready to rock. Come on, chippies, get ready to rock. Okay. So we got our chippies. And then I think for this I'm going to use some Beadalon stringy material. Let me see what I got here. I think I'm going to use 19 strand Beadalon. This is the silver color. It says silver color, but it kind of looks like white. Maybe I'm losing it. Anyways, we're going to use this. So, let me get that ready to rock. And then the metal components we have here, I'm going to look and see if I have some of that like titanium looking kind of components, because I think that would probably be best. Yeah, here we go. These are the color that I'm talking about. So they're kind of like they're like an antique silver, but they kind of have a frosty finish on them. I don't know if you guys can see that there. That's the color that I'm going to use. I think that that is probably the most appropriate. So yeah, I'm going to get some of these Wire Guardians out. I think we're actually going to use a couple of those. And I'm also going to get out some bead covers. Then I need my crimp beads. Let's see. I think I'll go with gunmetal just because that's kind of the best option that I have right now. I had another thing. Oh yeah, I do. I was like, where are they? Here they are. Just double checking. But yeah, that kind of seems to be the best option. Alright, so for this first part, we're not going to need that much beading wire. We're probably only going to need about like maybe a foot. That's probably stretching it, but better safe than sorry. So I'm going to get that out. And before I start doing anything, I am just going to just use this string. I'm not going to put an end on it or anything. And I'm going to start with my moon. So I'm going to put my moon on here. Move this up a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go. So start with my moon, and then I'm just going to start adding little pieces at a time. I'll probably do 5 at a time. 3, 4, 5 of these lab chips on that side because I didn't count these, that's why. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that's fine because I'm actually going to put the stars, 1 star on this side, 1 star on this side. Oh, I got that one on there upside down. Okay. So to start, this is what we got. I better move these two over here so I don't get confused. Now, if you wanted to add metal here, you could. I'm not adding any metal because I don't normally add things to the box. So I'm just going to put on 5 more. And then I'm going to go with the star again. And I am paying attention to how I'm putting my stars on. I want all my stars to be facing the same direction, so I am putting them on the same way. 2, 3, 4, 5. And that way is through the bottom, so that when it comes up through the top of the wire, you have like the little point of the star on the top. So I'm just putting them all on that way. Alright, back to this side. Some of these are drilled kind of crazy too. 3, 4, 5, and a star, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a star. I think it's coming along pretty smashingly myself. Okay, and then I have, let's see, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I got 3 others. 1 odd man out. I'm just going to put these guys on. So I should actually be putting 8 on each side. I actually like chip beads. I think that they make things look kind of organic. These are a little larger chips, which is nice. At least they're not like super tiny. Yeah. This one, a little wonky. And you can see that labradescence. Is that what we're looking for? You can see that on these beads, so that's nice when you move it. All right. So there we go. That's our focal piece. Now we're going to crimp this, basically in this section. So we're kind of working on this necklace in sections. Now, before we just go to crimp and everything, let me get our pieces in here. Okay. So with this one, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit a wire. I wanted to use a wire guardian, but I don't think it's going to fit in there. So there's an option for you. If you want to use the wire guardian, you can, and then connect with the jump ring. I don't really want to do that. I think I will just connect on. I think on these ones I probably could have fit my wire guardian through there, yeah, on each side, but not on this side. So since I can't do it on both sides, I'm just going to nix that part of it, and we will just connect right onto the component. So that kind of changes things a little bit. So for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to this side, and I'm going to put on my bead stopper, because I don't want to lose the whole bit. I'm going to have a little zip coffee. Don't mind my fingerprints. That just made it worse. Have a little zip of coffee so you're good to go. And get your crimp bead or crimp tube, whatever blows your dress up. And then I'm just going to go through the bead and then put on this charm. I'm going to come back through the bead. Well, maybe I am. Come back through the bead. And I'm also going to go through a couple of beads here, just for safety. Also, I feel like it helps me crimp appropriately. Okay. So, then I can kind of snug that up where I want it. And it kind of helps hold everything in place, in my personal opinion. Now when I'm going to crimp this, I do not want to crimp this super tight to the component. There's got to be space there so that it can move around. Think of it as like a joint. You don't want it to be where it can't move, because then you're going to have a problem. So once I got where I want it, I'm going to come in here with my crimping tool, and I'm going to do my first crimp, and then I'm going to do my second crimp. Looks good. Pull test is good. Before I put on my bead cover, I am going to go ahead and trim this. Make sure you're trimming the right wire. And then I'm going to go ahead with my crimp cover. So I'm going to go to the top of the crimp cover, push it into the mat, give it a little squeeze, flip it over, and then I'm going to kind of very lightly adjust the bead. And there we go. So now on this side, I should be able to take this off and I just want to make sure this little wire is in its home. Get in your home. Get in your home. There we go. Still being slightly problematic. Okay. So now, for this side, same thing. You could go either way on this. I think I'll do in the little hole provided for the bottom, just because why not? Oh, I should probably put the bead on, huh? Crimp bead, don't forget. Crimp bead. Component. Same situation. Come back through the bead, through the crimp bead, and then through a couple of the chips. Pull her into place. And again right here, we do not want it to be too tight up against the component. So we want her to be able to move. It looks like I might need to go a smidge more. That's pretty good. Because I'm also going to be using crimp cover. So then, let me go in here and do my crimping. There's one. I know it's kind of hard to see, but in this angle, crimping on camera is a little complicated. There we go. She's crimped, and pull test looks good. Keepers. Alright. Now I can place the crimp cover. Same thing as last time, load it into your plier. And yep, I'm at an angle. I want to be straight on, so I'm going to try again. And do my little adjustments. There we go. Alright, so there is the first part of our necklace. Looking good. So now the second part of our necklace, what we're going to do is we're going to work on the top half. So according to the plan that we made, the top half is basically just all these crystals. So we are going to do one side at a time, and we are going to have to adjust for this size difference here in these components, which is going to be fine. All that means is we're probably going to end up putting like maybe 3 more crystals or 2 or 3 more crystals on this side than we are on this side. And that's just to even out the fact that these are not even, right? You can see here we would probably have to add 2 or 3 more beads. So that's fine. We will take away from whatever side we need to. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to have to split them. I was going to see if I could just wing it, but you know, we should probably pay attention to what we're doing. Let me get all this little wire off of here. FYI, Shannon's posting a whole bunch of new stuff on the internet right now as we speak. You can hear her doing little crunchy bags. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to split them up first. So I'm just going to do even amounts in each little dish. Okay, and then I'm thinking that we are probably going to have to do about 2. So I'm going to move these 2 over here. So this is going to be for this side, this is going to be for this side. We'll start with this side first since it is supposed to have less beads. Move that so I don't spill it. And I'm going to go back to the wire I need. Now we're not going to need much for this either, probably only like about 8 inches or so. So I'm just going to connect on right here. And where I am connecting is the top, the exact straight up top, the largest of the moons. And like I said, if you were using wire guardians or connecting with jump rings, you're going to want to do that. Okay. And I do not want this to be super tight to the component. I'm going to come in here with my crimper. Okay. Crimp bead looks good. I am going to go ahead and cover that up. Okay. And now all we got to do is string on all of these crystals. Alright guys, sorry, the heater kicked on, so I just went ahead and strung up the crystals on each side. I'm showing you a little wider view so you can see when I hold this up that because of the offset of the two shapes, it worked out. I mean, you can really work it out however you want as long as you got an even situation up at the top. So that worked out pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and take my bead stopper off one side. Put him on this side so I can get the end on this one. And I am going to use an Old Faithful clasp right here. So this is what we consider to be the Old Faithful clasp. It is a ball and socket clasp. I use these all the time on the channel. If you need some, we do have some available on Thunderhorse Descendant. So I'm just going to crimp right on to the clasp. And I'm just doing this the same way that I did all the other crimps. I'm not using a wire guardian for these. I'm just going to go through a couple of beads and get this positioned correctly. Again, you don't want it to be too close where it's not able to move around, especially since there isn't going to be a jump ring on here. You want it to have a pretty good circle to move. You also want your crystals to be able to move because you don't want them to be wonkety wonk, be too tight and then they'll break. So you kind of got to find that sweet spot. So once I have it where I want it, I can then go ahead and crimp. Full test looks good. And then cover it with bead cover. Okay, so I'm going to do this same thing to the other side. I'll be right back. Hello party people, it is Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. So I just wanted to let you know that I have some great news. If you've been thinking about ordering a subscription, whether it's for 1 month or all the way up to a year from the Bargain Bead Box, you can now use Randy's Thunderhorse Descendant code. The code is Thunderhorse86, and if you use that at checkout, you're going to save $2 off of your Bargain Bead Box order. So that is for, I believe, first subscriptions only. So if you're not familiar with the Bargain Bead Box, you can go over to bargainbeadbox.com, and basically what you're going to get is you're going to get a subscription of beads delivered to your door. As you know, we do the mini series with them, and you're going to receive about $50 to $70 worth of beads for about $19 a month, including the shipping. So if you want to save $2 off your first subscription, use Thunderhorse86 at checkout and help out your girl, and also save yourself some cash. So I just want to say thank you for following along with me on my channel and all my beading endeavors. I really appreciate you. Let's get back on into it. Down to the mat. Alrighty guys, there she is, all completed and done up. I think we did pretty well compared with our design that we made versus what we actually end up with. I think they are pretty much exactly the same. So I am very happy with it. I'll get you guys some photos. Get you guys some photos of the necklace, and yeah, I will be putting this one, I think, into my store. And if you want to purchase anything from the store, don't forget that you are going to get a jewelry ticket. So that's a thing. I hope you're all having a wonderful, spectacular, amazing beading day, and I will see you in the next one.